J. Maxwell. Welcome back to my channel. This is J.Max Reax, and tonight I'm watching a video about HipHopMadness that says the sad truth about female rappers. Let's see what they have to say.
This video is brought to you by Keeps.com. Stay tuned to find out more.
I'm clearing my album right now, and it's been like difficult to deal with these men. They don't know how to keep it business. It's a feature on my album. It was difficult to clear, and they like trying to drop back on me because I won't respond to a DM.
Yeah, but you can't expect them girls to give you something just because you're doing music with them, Kodak.
Ew.
So why you expecting the music with men?
Yeah,
you gotta be careful.
Look, my female artists do this how it is, right? I got a bus, like they ain't my girlfriend, but it's like I'm a bus.
Nigga,
No,
what?
man. No,
You gotta keep it
that's not good business, Kodak.
Hell no.
Completely absent from the Forbes list and routinely overlooked by top 10s, women in hip-hop have always faced an uphill battle. In fact, both historically and in contemporary times, they've had to muddle through everything from prejudice, harassment, and hostility. And although there's often a temptation to romanticize the early years of hip-hop as a time that was pure and untainted by record labels, in reality, women have been fighting for their fair share since the inception of hip-hop. Propelled to fame when she issued a scathing response to UTFO's Roxanne, the young Roxanne Shante was one of hip-hop's first female success stories. But even as one of the stars of the legendary Juice Crew, she was subject to such a degree of exploitation, in her case, financially, that it chased her out of the industry while she was at the height of her fame. Later down the line, the famed TLC would suffer a similar fate, finding themselves simultaneously bankrupt and on the top of the charts courtesy of their devious deal with the Face Records. That said, shady executives are only one piece of the puzzle, because in reality, it can come from other female artists as well. And even after Queen Latifah advocated for unity among women in hip-hop back in 1993, there's still a lingering belief that there can only be one true queen. Before I met anybody, I always thought of it as a sisterhood, Eve told The Guardian in 2019. I thought we were all gonna be friends. It was not like that. I'd see Kim and say hi, and she'd be like, "Get the heck away from me." Not verbally, you could just tell what she was thinking. But I was in a bubble and it never felt like a competition. I loved missing Kim, but I never wanted to be them. Seen as the two biggest female stars in the 90s, the trailblazing forces of Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown could have made magic if they were allowed to join forces. Instead, they were pitted against one another at every opportunity. And after years of throwing shade at one another across their discographies, their tension eventually culminated in a shooting between their entourages outside of Hot 97, in which one man was shot in the back.
After 2 or 3 years of just being verbally attacked, I felt like I owed it to my fans. We just want to stop it. We just want to say, look, let's put an end to it.
Forced into a beef with one another, the situation was mimicked years later by Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, and eventually culminating in a physical altercation that left the world shocked. I really hate when people pit us against each other, because it just makes me feel like I gotta move like them. Cardi B said to XXL when asked about how the culture manufactures beef between women, and I don't like moving like nobody else. Even last year, everybody was putting music out, all the females, Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat, Megan Thee Stallion. And people was just saying, oh, Cardi is over, Cardi's over. Everything that I accomplished, people's trying to erase it just because new females were out. Constantly forced to compare themselves to other females in a way that's more persistent than what men experience, the tendency to force women to do battle is one that may be gradually receding. As nowadays, it's not uncommon to see a duo such as Sweetie and Doja hop on a track and exist in perfect harmony. However, that's by no means the end of the issue that female MCs face. Among the most raunchy MCs in the game today and a certified megastar all-in-one, Megan Thee Stallion's career has seen her transfer many of her sexcapades into songs. And as a result, certain sectors of the culture feel it removes her music's ability to be seen as anything other than filth. But to Megan, it's all a product of men trying to keep the status quo of the past in place. Some people just don't know what to do when a woman is in control and taking ownership of her own body, she told GQ. I feel like for a long time men felt they owned sex, and now women are saying, hey, this is for me, I want pleasure. This is how I want it or don't want it. It freaks men the hell out. It just comes from a place of fear and insecurity. Like, why would anyone be mad about my WAP? It belongs to me. Far from alone in her views of men's desire to place women in a box, her sentiments were echoed by Doja Cat, the woman who recently overtook Drake in monthly Spotify listening.
When you dress up like you are going on a night out in Miami and you have a little skirt on and a little bikini on and you show a lot of skin, people will put you in a category, and for them to be comfortable, they'll make it seem like you are not very smart. You are just a girl who is just a rapper. Female rappers are vapid and less than smart. I feel like that's how they're looked at.
But while overtly sexual is one thing, it's all a part of a larger issue that female MCs face. As when push comes to shove, what those who look to minimize their contributions to the game really can't stand is their assertiveness. In this instance, Nicki Minaj, whom Forbes dubbed as the most successful woman to ever grace a mic in 2021, is a prime example of pushing through the misrepresentation of confidence as when it comes to a female artist taking what's theirs. And to her credit, she's spoken openly about the battles she's faced since the beginning of her career. All right, so I want to take a quick break to thank our friends at Keeps.com.
What people don't understand is that when I was doing this, I took a lot from people, from men who didn't want me to realize my own worth, who didn't want me to know the truth about like who I was and how good I was. Like people try to make such a big deal out of when a woman stands up for herself. Why? Because I see people walk on eggshells around Wayne. You know what I'm saying? I see people walk on eggshells, I'm pretty sure around Jay, around M, around all these men.
Having practically strong-armed her way into 2010's rap caviar Mount Rushmore, Nicki still feels as though she's fighting for respect. And even though she's regarded as an icon in the game, Nicki Minaj has been candid about the fact that in her early years, her own insecurities were weaponized against her. So eager to live up to the image that she's deemed both profitable and desired by the industry, Nicki Minaj has spoken about how she's received cosmetic surgery to get her booty that would become a key component of her branding in years to come.
All I would hear them talking about is big butts. And I didn't feel complete or good enough because I'm like, oh my God, you know, this is what you're supposed to look like in the rap culture, and I don't look like that. I was in Atlanta at the time. I kept on being around Wayne, and Wayne, he always talking about big booties, or Wayne would have like a new chick in the studio. I think they said stuff sometimes jokingly, but to a young girl or up and coming rapper or anything like that, when it's from someone like Lil Wayne, it matters. Even if they're joking, they don't know the person that is there in that room with them is not finding it funny.
Right.
Having claimed that she's received the illegal injections from a random person, this concession from Nicki, who's been seen by many as a beacon of female empowerment, that she's not just endangered herself in the pursuit of the right aesthetic, but feels accountability for popularizing this trend, speaks to the tightrope that women in hip-hop have to walk. As at this time, your body could be judged and placed under the microscope by the culture in ways that men couldn't conceive of. However, this is only one side of the coin. As once you're considered desirable, that admiration that you inspire can breed the worst kind of objection. And as rising star Lotto discussed during a recent interview, this can mean that even when you work with a man, it isn't exactly built on a foundation of mutual respect.
Like I'm clearing my album right now, and it's been like difficult to deal with these men. They don't know how to keep it business. It's a feature on my album. It was difficult to clear, and they like trying to drop that on me because I won't respond to a DM.
A sentiment that was co-signed by Dream Doll, who stated that she's dealing with the same situation with her single. Lotto's words speak to a culture in which it's acceptable to employ an entirely different set of rules that's based on nothing but gender. And while some would be quick to suggest that they're exaggerating, the overt sexualization of the contemporaries is something that a few hip-hop artists have been too transparent about.
Yeah, but you can't expect them girls to give you some just because you're doing music with them, Kodak.
So why you expecting to do music with me?
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Look, my female artists, this how it is, right? I got a bus, like they ain't gonna be my girlfriend, but it's like I'm a bus.
But who finna smash you and let you smash?
That's not good business, Kodak, at all.
Although Kodak's comments are disturbing, what's even worse is that he's far from alone in his views. Just 3
really?
years on from being forced to apologize for making allusions to slipping something in a girl's drink on the You Ain't Even Know remix, Rick Ross offered up a similar answer to Kodak when asked about the prospect of signing a woman to Maybach Music.
What about a female rapper? I always felt like, I know you dibbled and dabbled with different artists, that other female rappers, but
you
feel like
I never did it because I always thought like I would end up in a female rapper in the business sector. I'm so focused on my business. I gotta be honest with you. You know, she looking good. I'm spending so much money on her photo shoots. I gotta.
Yo,
Over time,
trash,
something with
bro.
women now taking more of a market share than ever in the game, attitudes such as Rick Ross and Kodak's will make you an odd man out, rather than part of the vocal majority. But in the view of Eve, the onus of responsibility for bringing out real, systematic change for female MCs falls on the shoulders of both men and women.
Exactly.
I started in hip-hop, a male-dominated business. I definitely got tested. I've been lucky enough not to ever be touched, but I've been definitely put in positions where I felt like I had to defend myself or was scared that, oh God, what if something could happen? I think that it takes women speaking up completely. We need to keep putting our voice out there, and it takes men of good substance to stop those types of men doing things.
Exactly.
I grew up in hip-hop, so I've seen how girls can be. I've seen it, and I get it. I do not condone it at all, but it needs to be a bigger change. Although they've come a long way, it seems that if women are ever to be able to escape the criteria that they're held to and the damaging structures that still exist, then hip-hop as a culture still has a long way left to go.
Whoa. That was a really, really good one. The title just threw me off. I was like, okay, what's the sad truth? And it is the sad truth, unfortunately. You know, the sexualization, the objectifying, and just fucked up thought process of the industry and men. I think, you know, from an industry and business side, they have to look a certain way, but then the men subscribe to that fuckery, and then they be trying to fuck. And it's just like, what is the point? You know what I mean? And it's always, I hate to be this person, it's always the niggas that nobody wants to smash. That's talking about they want to smash. And unfortunately, they getting smashed because they got money, and some people feel like that's the only way that they can make it. This is my rant with that one. I think we have some incredible female rappers out there right now. Are they like the most lyrical, the most skilled, the most technical? No, but they know how to draw in an audience and actually do what they need to do to get there without the other stuff, all the antics and the fuckery. You know, because I don't think there's anything wrong with being sexy. Own your body. Own it. Don't give it to nobody else to own and do whatever the fuck they want to do with it. I think that's crazy. But yeah, you know, I think people, you know, enjoy what they're seeing nowadays in female rap. I hope so, because, you know, it's not just one person. It's a lot of options out there for you to choose from. You can get a different move from a different person, and some of them are versatile enough that you can get it all in one. So yeah, I absolutely love everybody that they highlighted. Cardi, Nicki, Lotto, Sweetie, Doja, as well as so many other ones that are coming out now, like Glorilla. I think she's pretty dope from like a Southern standpoint. Megan Thee Stallion, of course, we love her. Who else do I listen to in terms of like female rap? I think Dream Doll is pretty incredible. Dreezy, Dej. Like, they're all just so different. You get this interesting melting pot in female rap that I think people don't appreciate, but they should. And that to me is, you know, again, the sad truth of it. But this was pretty cool. Let me know what you thought about it below. Comment, like, subscribe. Until next time, peace.